and your spiritual evolutionist. Listen, this is Mind Blowing Monday. This is Motivating Monday. This is Massive Monday. This is the day that you begin some great things in your life. I'm so excited that you have arrived for this session. We are excited. You should be excited. Today is a great opportunity to just extend your energy, expand your energy, begin to move forward in some great things, make some decisions. If it's not working, then change it. Remember, you cannot wait for the world to change. You have to make the changes in the world. So, as we begin to go forth today, this weekend was a very exciting weekend. I was able to speak for Demario Scott, who set up an empowerment event where we had some powerful speakers come forth. I met some beautiful new people. I learned I didn't learn some new things. I remembered some things that I already knew, but they invoked the tool for me to remember it. And so we were very excited. I want to thank Demario Scott for the opportunity and a platform to come forth and empower and motivate the people. But one person that was very influential to me, and the subject that she brought was about her 9-year-old niece that committed suicide, and she became an advocate for kids, and she's going into the schools and she's talking to them. And so that was very disturbing for me, for a 9-year-old to have thought life was so hard and that the only way that she could get through it was to dismiss herself from this side. And so today I kind of wanted to talk to not just the young people. I want to talk to the older people too, because it may have been you or somebody you know that thought about suicide or attempted suicide. There were several people, several speakers there that testified that they thought about suicide or they attempted suicide. So today I want to come to you and let's just talk about the suicidal mind. So when we talk about things, we talk about real issues, real life things that happen that are disturbing, that cause us to think that there's no solution. So what I want to define suicidal thoughts are thoughts that come to you that convince you that there's no resolution. A suicidal mind is a mind that shuts down and does not allow anyone in to discuss or to counsel or to be a life coach or to offer some tools for another way of doing something. And so in the time that we're living right now, we must face that many people that are dealing with a lot of things had thoughts of suicide. Now, when we begin to look at that, a lot of times we don't recognize suicide as being just a thought, because that's how it starts out. It starts out as an invitation in your imagination to end this situation. Maybe the pressure, maybe the burdens, maybe the problems, maybe the challenges have felt like too much weight on your shoulders. And the only way that you feel like you can find a resolution is to relieve yourself from it. So today I want to motivate you. I want to invoke you. I want to give you tools. First of all, I think that suicide is a silence that a lot of people cannot hear. And the reason I say it's a silence that a lot of people cannot hear, because most people keep it to themselves. Most people really don't want to kill themselves, but they feel like that's their only option. So today I want to come to you and hopefully give you some tools to allow yourself and those around you and your loved ones, your kids. Remember, the kids are going through so many things themselves that they don't feel like us as adults can relate or that we're going to listen to them. So the first thing that I want to talk about in having a suicidal mind. Since the suicidal mind seems to be silent, you must talk to somebody. You must advise somebody what you're feeling. It is not up to you to decide if they're going to receive it or they're going to believe it, but it is up to you to communicate. Now, the communication goes both ways. We need the person that is feeling these suicidal thought or has this suicidal mind to talk to someone. And on the other side, we need to be very vocal to people. See, sometimes we're just so focused on ourselves that we don't see the signs. We don't acknowledge a solution. We ignore it. I talked to you a while ago about, are we just ignorant to this or are we just ignoring it? Ignorant means you don't understand it, you don't know anything about it, you can't define it, you don't know it. But ignoring it is seeing it and just saying, oh, she'll be all right. Oh, he'll be all right. We cannot assume anything because in the time that we're living, people are experiencing multiple issues. And there are issues that they've never, ever, ever seen before, have no idea how to handle it. And so what we must do as a spiritual evolutionist, it is up to me to provide you with spiritual tools that will involute you and revolutionize you out of that silence. Suicide is silent. And most people don't do it with an audience. They go to themselves by themselves and they commit the act. So we must begin to be vocal. We must begin to speak. We must begin to educate. We must begin to motivate and invoke some solutions to help people. Sometimes you can just encourage somebody and that will turn the whole thing around. Sometimes you can just listen to someone and that will turn the whole thing around. We have got to be our brothers and sisters keepers. We have got to begin to focus and maintain a mindfulness that people are struggling. Sometimes you just need to ask someone one question. Are you all right? Is there something I can help you with? Is there something that's concerning you or challenging you? And once we begin to do that, we open up the line of communication and the silent suicidal mind will become a vocal mind. So we just want to get in there and see what it is that we can do to heal, to help men, to bring a solution to, a resolution to bring some rest, to bring some relief. You don't know. There's so many times that I've gone through stuff. I have not ever considered suicide. But sometimes just being silent is suicide. It is when the mind goes just silent. It's that internal pain that nobody can hear. It's that voice that's screaming and nobody's listening. And so today, I want to bring to you an opportunity to yell for help. To say, I can't deal with this anymore. I need help. There is nothing wrong with you needing counseling. There is nothing wrong with you needing a life coach. There's nothing wrong with you needing a psychiatrist. You need someone that you can vocally get that information, and that's what it is, out of you. It's not information, but it's inflammation. And it's a flame that's flaming up within your mind, within your heart, within your body. And it feels like every part of you hurt. When it's only one thing that has you in that part. Isn't that something? I talked about that before. When we talked about if you're getting up and you hit your toe, and the pain feels like your whole body is inflamed with pain. But it's only one area. And so you may have multiple areas, but most of the time it's one thing that is causing that person to feel like there's no hope. With God, there's always hope, and we don't have to be hopeless. But until we become vocal, until we begin to take responsibility for ourselves and others, so that we can talk to them and see what's going on or what's going wrong or what can be fixed. Because the moment that you begin to vocally Talk to a person. A person that's hurting is waiting to hear something that's going to heal that pain. So, conversation, if we don't conversate about it, if we don't begin to say something about it, it remains silent. So, conversation on both ends. You checking on people, and if you're feeling like it's just no hope, you asking somebody, can you help me? Can you talk to me? Can I talk to you? And sometimes people just need for us to listen. We don't have to come up with a solution. We just need to listen and allow them to expel. It's just like vomiting. It's like the thing that is inside of you is not agreeing with you. And once you begin to conversate, it's like you spewing out the very thing that's not agreeing with you. We are dealing with so much that sometimes it just seems like you don't know where to turn. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to get out. But please, please yell for help. Please say, I need help. Even on this broadcast, if I'm speaking to you right now and this is how you're feeling, please inbox me. Please send a message. You don't have to say this is how I'm feeling. You can send me an email, moreoftherock@hotmail.com, moreoftherock@hotmail.com, because I want to be my brother's or my sister's keeper, because there's a part of you that I need, and I have a part of you that you need. And when we begin to come together and we begin to care, we begin to have the compassion, we begin to have the love. In the empowerment event on Saturday, this young lady was talking with her grandma and just told her grandma, I'm going to the bathroom. And because she stayed so long, her grandmother went to check and she had hung herself. We don't want this same situation to repeat itself. And the young lady had been bullied at school. And her auntie said it was racial bullying. Why are we so simple-minded that we're still looking at the color and not the content of a person? After all that we've been through, it's not just the white people, it's the black people, it's the Chinese people, it's the Mexican people. It's all. But it doesn't matter what color you are. It matters that you know who you are. And we've got to start telling our babies who they are. And we've got to begin to have conversations with our babies. And we've got to be approachable as an adult, as a parent, for them to feel like safe, like they can come tell us what's going on. A lot of times they try to handle things on their own. But if we would make ourselves approachable, if we would stop being so hard to approach. I have multiple teenagers that are my son and my daughter's friends that tell me, I can't talk to my mom, but I can talk to you. I would rather them talk to their mom, but I also would rather them talk to me or talk to somebody who's going to offer them some tools, some resolutions, some information, some encouragement, some motivation. If we do not start taking time out, explaining to our kids what's going on. Every Tuesday, me and my kids, and listen, my kids asked for this. I didn't invoke this. My kid asked for it. They said, we need to have a study with you every Tuesday. We need to have a meeting. We need to talk. So I'm allowing that to happen. And the reason they came to me because I was approachable. And so you have to be approachable for your kids no matter what age they are. They're 16 and 18, no matter what age they are. These kids today have to deal with so much more than we had to when we were in school. And so when we're talking about the suicidal mind, we're talking about the silence that has gripped someone's thoughts and refuses to let it go. And so they're tied up and they're tangled up and they're tired and they're frustrated and they're hurt and they're in pain. But it's only in their mind. And it's in their mind because it came from an outside force. We have got to get the energy up to a point where we can respond when these things happen, and where we place it where people can come to us and have a conversation. It's not over. It doesn't have to be over. You have to make a decision within yourself that you're going to speak up, that you're going to tell somebody you're hurting, that you're going to explain to somebody, I'm on my last leg and my only option has been a suicidal thought. We say it's only rapid at its highest number during Christmas time or holiday times, but now with the world making a total shift, it's every day, and especially in our young people. So what I'm doing today is I'm hopefully making you aware, conscious, and paying attention to what your kids are saying, what they're doing. Have some conversations. Don't be judgmental. I'm not saying just let anything happen, but don't make them feel like you're going to judge them or like you're going to argue at them or you're going to fuss at them. Have a conversation. Discuss about it. Don't fuss about it. And have them to allow them to feel that you care, that you're taking time out of your busy schedule and everything that you want to do, and even your favorite TV program that you want to watch. And most programs can be seen at a later time. But we have got to start having the compassion. We've got to start to come back to caring. We've got to start to come back to loving. And we can't just assume that they're going to be all right. Because right now, most of us are not all right. There's a mental situation that is like the tornado speed that is going through the world. And there are so many people that you look right in the face of every day that has had some sort of suicidal thought. Thinking about ending it all. And it's all because of the illusion. Oh my God. I just heard that. It's an illusion that has been set up to them to seem real. None of this is real. It's an illusion. We're not dwellers. We're travelers, and we're taking a journey, and we're walking through this. We're already equipped with it, but they tried to make us forget that we forgot who we were, and so we're walking through this thing, and it's very heavy. And for a 9-year-old child, it's a double heaviness that they're dealing with. And so when we talk about the suicidal thoughts, they begin to repeat. There's something that triggers that thought. There's some action from the outside that triggers those thoughts. There's something that is hurting us that triggers those thoughts. And we cannot expect our children to handle these things on their own. I am asking you that if you have kids, have a conversation on a daily basis. Make them feel like they can talk to you. Be available. Don't be so busy that you can't hear what they're saying. And don't be so judgmental that you judge what they're saying. But be a listening ear to hear what the Spirit is saying. If you listen to your kids close enough, you will see and you will hear what they're saying. But if you're talking, if you're doing all the talking and doing all the yelling and doing all the things that you do to maintain your house without a listening ear, it's going to be tragic. And so for the adults, that's for the kids. For the adults, reach out to somebody who wave your flag and say, I'm at the end. I need some assistance. Again, contact me. Half of you, I may not even know you, so that's even better. So it's moreoftherock@hotmail.com. Or if you're on Facebook, inbox me. Or if you're on Instagram, inbox me. I want to and I will to be available to you, to your suicidal thoughts. Because my thing is, we can restore what the enemy and the inner me, the inner thoughts, has come to take us away from. So no matter who you are, no matter what age you are, no matter what financial status you are, we all are dealing with something. And we're only as strong as the weakest link. So we're all connected and joined together. So we might as well come together, live together, love together, heal together, be blessed together. It is so much better when we do it together than being separated. You over here and you over here. God is about one, and we're the house that he dwells in. And a house that's divided will continue to fall. I promise you the solution to this virus is to come together. Because the thing has been, everybody stay in their own house and you separate and you don't do this and you don't come together. And it's for your safety. So they've scared us into separation. But one thing you must know, as long as there's a telephone, as long as there's a text, as long as there's an email, as long as there's a mailbox, there's always a communication. Don't feel like if you can't do it in person, you just don't do it. No, we've got to come together. I was so disturbed by this story. I was disturbed and I was encouraged. And I was ignited to talk more about it because we like to shove suicide under the rug and just act like it doesn't happen, act like it doesn't exist in somebody's world. We just act like, everything is all right. And until we come to the point, I'm telling you, you cannot afford to wait. You need to talk to your children today. You need to talk to your spouse today. You need to talk to your brothers and sisters, your cousins, your aunties, your uncles. And we need to start being available for helping. That's what family does. It doesn't have to be physical blood related. It could be spiritually blood related. And we've got to begin to look in the eyes of people and see their sadness. And they may not say anything to you, but if you're in a discerning spirit, you may say something to them. There were many times that I was feeling at my lowest, and I walked among people that's supposed to know me, and they never knew. Because everybody's focused on their own thing. And if I had not been totally connected and joined to God, who's to say I wouldn't have committed suicide? Because I was under some tremendous pressure that even my family didn't know about. So I've been through that. I just didn't go as far as thinking about taking my life. It's a sad day when we say we're people of God and we don't reach out and we don't care and we say it's my for and no more. It's time to bridge the gap. It's time to take down the walls and the barriers. Because there's someone right now in your very midst has thought about ending it all. So on a daily basis, I ask my kids, are you all right? Is there something we need to talk about? How was your day? You look like something's bothering you. And that's what we do in my house. If my son sees my daughter looking a certain way, he'll say, "What's wrong with you?" If my daughter sees my son looking a certain way, she'll say, "What's wrong with you?" Or she'll ask me, "What's wrong with Robert?" Or if I'm looking a certain way, they'll ask me what's going on. You have got to be accountable to those that you have been assigned to. And if we take accountability and responsibility to all of the people that we are accountable to and for, we're going to save the world. Because sometimes all people want you to do is just listening. Listen. I was in the Waffle House yesterday. There was a young man that just kept coming by the table, and he would say, "I'm leaving now. Y'all have a blessed day." He didn't know us. I said, "You too." He came back into the building and went by the table again and went to the bathroom and came back, said, "Excuse me." And he was going out the door. There was no need for him to say, "Excuse me." So I just began to talk to him. I said, "You all right?" Say, "Yeah, I'm good. I'm just down here trying to get my kids back." So he was dealing with something. He just needed somebody to listen. And I was a stranger that was willing to listen. You know, sometimes we just don't want to be bothered. I didn't really want to be bothered, but the spirit part in me connected with the pain in him. Whew. Who knows? He might have been thinking suicidal thoughts or had a suicidal mind because he was restless and he kept going back and forth. And it was like he was in the midst. I just said, "I'm going to, and I am right now, sending you blessings, energy, and power to overcome whatever is trying to overcome you." That alone may have been just hope for him. I don't know. God says, "My yoke is easy and my burdens are light." And I began to study that today. He said, "If you follow me, if you entwine in me, I'm going to lift off the heaviness." But a lot of us don't know how to do that. And the church really hasn't taught us how to do that. It is things that you have to go through in an experience, and you have to have somebody on the side motivating you. You have to have an earthly angel that is going to take you to another place. Just with one word. Remember, the word became flesh. And as we issue out words, the power of life and death is in our language. And we've got to speak to people. We're quick to be able to cuss somebody out, but we need to speak to people and encourage them. And remember, what you make happen for others, God's going to make happen for you. So in your lowest frequency, in your lowest moment, if you would just open your mouth and encourage somebody else, the interest will come back to you. But we're so stuck in our ego. We're so stuck on ourselves, and we're so stuck on our problems that we refuse to encourage. The suicidal mind is real. Well, you might be saying, "Well, I never thought about suicide." Those thoughts are silent. And until you get to that moment, you may not have even known that that was going to be an option for you. So today, on this marvelous Monday, on this motivating Monday, on this massive Monday, I will to encourage you to talk to your kids, talk to your family members, talk to all those people, even somebody you don't know that you see on the street. Just one word, whew, just one word may turn things around. Just one encouraging, motivating word. Just one. All right. I'm at the end of this story, this session, this message. But I'm going to continue to mention this in upcoming sessions. because there's a serious silent pandemic of suicidal minds. We're focused on COVID-19 and the variants, but we must know that the variants are not always physical. Most of them are mental, and they don't have a name, because I'm telling you, these suicidal minds are silent. And there's some hurt that you're dealing with today that are killing you. And when you allow it to kill you, that's suicidal. If you don't reach out for help, if you don't say something, if you don't raise your hand, if you don't make something vocal, you're killing yourself inside. Everybody needs a life coach, a counselor, a psychiatrist, because you need to get all of that has made its way inside of you, out of you. The enemy is inner me. It's inner me. It's inner me. And if I don't deal with it, it becomes who I am, what I think, how I respond. So today, if you're hurting, I'm a counselor, and you can't afford me. Because if you can't monetarily afford me, we can still talk. Because I recognize that God has placed me in this position. He's going to take care of me. He's going to take care of me, whatever. As long as I take care of his people, he's going to take care of me. So if you are listening at this moment and you're dealing with something that is suicidally messing with your mind, it is silently taking you away from your stability. A double-minded man is unstable in his always. A double-minded woman, a double-minded child. So when you have one side of you saying you should kill yourself, then you have another side saying, no, that is not up to you. But let's make some choices. Let's begin to make some decisions for the greatest version of ourselves. All right. Well, remember, you've been created by the Creator to be created. So start creating your creations. Be blessed.